Okay, quick update. Yeah. Long story short, when we rolled the cart over here from Rich's house after we pushed the antifreeze out of it and ran it that day we took that video, I knew the brake pedal felt funny, and I couldn't remember if that was just that's how it was or what. So just to be safe, I called Paul Martin. I had Brad send me rebuild kits for the master cylinders. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's Saturday the 24th, or 3rd? 23rd. Let me check. It's the 24th. Sunday the 24th. Sorry. Happy Memorial Day. So what I ended up doing is, because the parts may not get here in time, is I raped the master cylinders from the scrapper, from the four-stroker, and changed the fittings, reworked everything, put our barb fittings in the top, glued the caps in. We had to do that anyway, even for the scrapper, because it's self-adjusting. Got to have the vent to atmosphere. What we got here is the masters on my cart are the same model. They're the cast aluminum Paul Martin that he doesn't make anymore. He makes the exact same bit, but it's billet now. It's not cast. But we like this piston size with our system and everything. What we had going here is, I'll show you, is you see that? Pedal sloppy. We thought maybe the end of the push rod was worn out, maybe the piston, but that doesn't look like it's worn all that bad, folks. I think maybe what we got going on here is because the pistons are returning all the way to the, let me see if I can get the light on. You see the snap ring that holds the piston in. It's under pressure from a return spring inside that fits inside this here, right? It goes inside the piston this way, and it's compressed in there. There's quite a bit of tension on that thing, man. You couldn't push that all the way down by hand. So it isn't a issue of the piston not returning. It's returning, but we got this slop, and I think it's just because these things are old. If you look at the arm, the actuation arm compared to the newer model, now these I bought for that cart that we were going to build into an F-125 for Tony H. Hey H, thanks for looking in. We sold Rich his cart. We got this stuff in return. So these master cylinders are actually 10 years old, but they're brand new. New old stock, I guess you'd call it. So I got them fixed up simply because this has to go to the racetrack. The other one, yeah, we've done a lot of work, and we're going to do everything we can to get it to the racetrack. But I couldn't justify not having at least one of these things complete. And if I waited on the master cylinder rebuilds for this cart, they may not get here because they're coming USPS. We've been having trouble with the US mail, especially delivering boxes or packages. They seem to take 2 and 3 times longer than they should. Check that video about the parts that came from BMI, right? Took, even though they were backlogged 10 days, it still took from the 14th to the 21st. It took a full week to get here. It's 2 days US mail, just standard US mail. So we couldn't take a chance of waiting on this stuff and not having either one of these carts done. So we went ahead and made the move. We put the big tires on this cart. We got the 6-inch stuff. I didn't post that video. Got the 6-inch wheels with the new 650 tire on a wheel that is going to give us more circumference than we've probably ever seen before, which is going to put us more in the center of our physical rear axle and engine gearing. We have 3 available sprockets for the engine, 17, 18, 19. We can't go any bigger than 19 or the chain will start machining off part of the motor. We have 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24. We're going to get a 22. So we basically have from 18 to 24 for the rear, and we've never really had to use any more than 20 teeth because of the way the gearbox is on these Vortex engines. Even the RVXX, being a little bit more Bonneville, 4th, 5th, 6th gear, still, doesn't need those bigger sprockets for any reason. So even if we put the biggest gear, the 19 on the engine, we'll never need any more than a 2-teeth difference with the circumference of tires we were using. So someday I'll do a video on the tire circumference thing. Why is that? Why is it important? It's another part of the gearing and tuning tool for a track. The start, like Mid-Ohio, the start-finish line is literally off a corner. So if your competition passes you on the long straightaway in the backside of the course, but you have more oomph off the corner because you gave yourself an extra half a tooth with your tire circumference, it's gonna pay dividends. At Daytona, you want a big tire because the finish line's on the oval. It's at top speed, terminal velocity. And the reason we wanted a bigger tire was because we couldn't go physical gearing enough to get terminal velocity out of the car. So we've solved some problems. We've changed our gearing. We got everything straightened out. We're going to test those big tires. That's going to help us everywhere we go, be able to use all of our gearing and give us more options. We're just filled up the master cylinders as we put them together and bolted them back on, wired everything up. And one by one, we'll go ahead and we're doing the front system right now. As you can see, that gray looking crappy stuff is just from heat probably. The Dot 5 loses its color a little bit when it gets hot. Could be from a bit of contamination as well. You saw the videos we did on bleeding these brakes, gravity bleeding everything. It's an idiot-proof way. There is no pumping the pedal and pump and hold it, and I'm going to crack and then close and then pump. No, I'll show you how this is done on this rear system here. But I literally put this basically a temporary reservoir here, and you squeeze that brake line after filling as much as I could before we put the caps on, the lids on, right? We went ahead and you just squeeze that piece of fuel line there, which is going to end up being our extra reservoir, our remote reservoir, and you'll get all the air bubbles coming through the system. You can even flick this thing, and you'll get all the air bubbles coming out, and by the time all the air stops, all of a sudden you've got a pedal here, you know, and the brakes were actually working, and I hadn't done any push and hold and bleed, none of that. It was before I hadn't even cracked this open. So we're just running half a beaker through each side just to make sure we got good, new, clean fluid coming out. We'll do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll bring you some video of doing the rear. So like I said, parts are coming. With Monday being a holiday, no delivery, I can't imagine they're just going to show up on Tuesday and give us Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get all this going. So there's a chance the old Briggsy doesn't make it to Grattan. Unfortunately, that would suck, but it is what it is. This is the car we really need to get the testing time in on, so that's what we're going to concentrate on right now. That's it. I'll bring you more in a little bit. It's warm, obviously, out here. We're seeing 82, 84, or whatever, 82. 83 over there on the wall in the garage. We got the fan. We busted out the fan for the first time this year. It's summertime, man. I'm loving it. Hotter the better. Love y'all. Hang in there. We'll bring you some more.